Hello, Jane here with another Stay Connected video from Longwater Tai Chi. Welcome back. Today we're going to look at the roll the ball exercise that we do in the middle of our classes just before we take a break. So we start with our hands facing towards each other as though we're holding a ball. And armpits are open. Elbows are extended away from the body. Again, I'll show you from the side because a lot of people do it with their arms back here. What you really need is the elbows extended forward. See how far they arced forwards. And if I turn to the front again, you'll see the armpits are still nicely open. You're going to find a size for an imaginary ball or bubble. Let's play with it as a bubble. And your hands are going to move around the edges of this bubble as though you're coating it with a soapy fluid. And we're going to allow it to expand and shrink. So we're going to just do the different angles. Again, I'm going to show you this one from the side because the hand that's coming forward is coming diagonally down and away, and the other one's coming up towards your shoulder's nest and your collarbone. Do it on the other side. And what I see in class, because you can't see all the angles very clearly, I see a lot of people just doing this. Now you want the elbows extended away from your spine, and one hand is moving through a much bigger distance than the other. So the center of my bubble's in the center of space between my palms. But the upper hand is moving more slowly in this one than the lower hand. Now we're going to move the hands to either side of the bubble again. So we've got this symmetrical, both hands open equally away from center. And now we're going to roll the hands nice and smoothly without losing contact with the bubble to the top and bottom. Allowing the bubble to expand and shrink. You can start to time this movement with your breathing. So as you practice this on your own, set the speed to your breath. I would be increasing the bubble as I breathe in, more air coming in, decreasing it as I breathe out. And we're going to switch to having the other hand on top, nice and smoothly, palm facing palm, and one goes vertically up and the other goes vertically down. Again, from the side, you see the elbows are drawn forwards. The hands are nice distance away from the body, the armpits very open, the tip of the tongue lightly on the roof of the mouth, breathing nice and smoothly and steadily. And then we have the slightly awkward position with one hand facing away from you. The one closest to your chest has its thumb down and palm facing away, and the other hand's going to come up to look at it through the middle of the bubble. So this then becomes a slightly more awkward movement. You've got to really start to use your shoulder blades as the bubble expands and shrinks. So I've got one hand, this one, with the shoulder blade going towards my spine, and the other one with the shoulder blade coming away from my spine. And now we're going to switch nice and smoothly, however you like to get there. And then same thing applies. I'm going to let you see it from the side. And also from the back. So hopefully you could see that there's quite a lot of movement going on there with my shoulder blades. And now what we're going to do is we're going to move randomly through those different angles that you have held and expanded the bubble. So you'll see the diagonals, the vertical, another diagonal, horizontal, the slightly awkward one, diagonals. So moving randomly You can let the bubble shrink and grow as you do it. That'll help you to get through some of the awkward turns. And you can see I'm gradually starting to roll this bubble and coat it with soapy fluid at the same time. So you don't need to try and copy my movements precisely. I want you to imagine, you can do it with your eyes closed if you like, both of your hands on the surface of a nice soapy bubble, nice thick-skinned bubble, it's not going to burst. And letting the hands stay on that surface with the centre of each palm facing directly through the bubble to the centre of the other palm. And as you do this rolling action, I'm rolling the bubble towards me at the moment, you're going to get into the most difficulty when you get to this position. Now I want you to watch carefully what this hand here does. The little finger side goes out, down towards the floor, and then the palm comes to face up. Now watch the other hand. I'm going to do the same thing. Little finger goes out and down and around. Palm faces up. And this one's going now. Down, around, palm up. The other hand has an easy job. All the other hand has to do is focus its centre towards the one that's doing the difficult job. So I'm going to let you see it from the side. Little finger side turns out and down. Palm comes up. Little finger on this side comes down, around, palm up. And if you also watch from a bit of an angle, you might see that there's an awful lot of shoulder blade movement going on. You know how I talk about shoulder blades all the time in class, the root of your arm? This is also really important for your upper respiratory tract, mobilizing this area between the shoulder blades. Mobilizing your shoulder blades, moving the rib cage around. So this rolling a ball exercise, it can become something very much more complex. And some of you who've done a lot of our internal arts practices will know how to actually move the arms by twisting and rotating the muscles of your legs. So if you're one of our advanced students watching this, remember you do know how to do this. You might have forgotten to practice it in amongst all the other dozens of things we ask you to practice regularly, but remember to use those big muscles of the legs. I will do another video at more beginner level in due course about taking this movement into a bow stance. So for the moment, that's all I want to say about this rolling the ball exercise. And I'll do a separate one about tuning our mind to a different frequency of qi with the ending of the same exercise. So for the moment, just carry on playing with rolling the ball until it becomes something that is easy for you. Very good exercise for your wrists and your hands and your forearms and your elbows. It's actually very pleasant to do. So thank you very much indeed for watching.